Hello, hello, everyone. Hello. Right. Time for another gathering of the Twilight. So that's what we're gonna do. She's already in character, hun, but I will attempt to do my best. RP. I see sneakily. Oh, okay. Ooh. Okay. Go poof. The fuck is the EX menu? The shit? Huh? I don't even know what that means. If there's supposed to be another menu button here, I don't see it, so... Oh. Oh, it's this thing. Aha. There we go. That's what it does. Now, where is everyone? Oh, up there. Where the fuck is my camera? Eh. The fuck? Where is it? Oh, there you are. I was like, what the fuck?
All sorts of other dreams converge into one. And there is a dream and nightmare sequence place and whatnot, and the fact that I could literally blink my eyes and something's in turmoil, I don't exactly get a lot of downtime. So,
Okay,
I got
fair.
a ring
I
of
can confirm
sustenance,
that I've been
and my ring of sustenance makes it so I don't need to eat, and I only need 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah, but they make
Unfortunately.
trailers.
They do, but I can make my own just by manifesting it if I really want it. It's just, I don't need it.
Then you don't have any excuse. If you can manifest food whenever you want, then it's not a problem to eat. You just shove something in your face, and if there's a monster there, you drop it.
Or throw it at the monster.
Yeah.
Maybe offer it to him.
Or throw it at the monster. You could
Like I
manifest
said.
explosive treats.
It's just easier to hit things.
We have
Trust
very
me.
little in common, I think.
Mm-hmm. A lot of what I deal with
Yes
is
and
giant
no.
beasts. They understand fisticuff and strength most of the time. At least that's what I've been dealing with lately. I haven't had to deal with civilized civilizations for a while, so you'll have to excuse me.
Fair?
Civilized.
Yeah, civilized is not a word that a lot of people use about me, so...
That's fair.
There's a lot of things that people touch that aren't civilized in general. Also, hello, Sariel.
Hello, Q. Sasha. Gazio.
Fiona.
Hello.
I always forget your name.
Rachel.
It's fine.
Rachel. There we go. I'll do my best to
I
remember.
don't get out of the dream very often. It's all good.
Hmm.
I mean, if you want to be eaten that badly, very well then.
Yes. While I did not design them with sentience, you might accidentally grab them here and there.
That's fine.
I think what I'll do is I'm going to allow Sharon a chance to get in the doorway, and then I'll start talking about what I want to talk about today.
Fair enough.
So feel free to enjoy some tea and the refreshments while you're here.
Speaking of which,
Am I
For
the
you?
only one seeing Q's wardrobe malfunction?
Yes.
It's good for you?
pouch of tea.
Just fine.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Your
For you
lower
as well.
skirt seems to have folded itself inside you for some reason, and I don't know why.
And one for you,
the
should you
wonderful,
wish.
wonderful things. Yeah, I will.
It's a pouch of
I
tea.
will make a benefit to that.
Oh,
Okay,
I appreciate that.
you're welcome.
That backpack. Leave it for later. That's one way to do it.
That is a way to do it.
Might as well change outfits and whatnot.
Wear whatever's
I
comfortable.
will have to say that other outfit isn't exactly conducive to sitting down.
Hey, Pedro.
I can see
the
that.
slip is, the
Basically,
slip
I'm just
ends up
agreeing.
falling away.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I have my answer for you, by the way, Q.
Oh, do you now?
Of the Sorvati, of storms, and of protection.
Good to know. That clue a little bit into the other, what the others said. I was discussing about the titles that the crystals, the Twilight Seal and Championhood actually gives people, and I had mentioned that technically your title is fully dependent on you.
Excuse me a moment. I just got a message I need to go take.
Okay, you're fine. So,
And what was it?
by default,
Sorry, go.
go ahead. By default, it's technically either the title of the race or the essence that they embody. Which I see that you kept the title of the Sorvati, or easier description, Twilight Dragons.
Yes. I felt it appropriate.
The one that you possess is the... Oh, I always forget which side is which. They are literally... I think it's the Kavari. The Twilight Demons, the chaotic side of my Trueborns.
I believe it is the Kavari, yes.
Pretty sure? I don't know. I'm not the detail-oriented one. We'll get to her.
No,
when
you're fine.
we start talking. She was out a lot earlier, so she's tired, and it doesn't matter. Not important.
But yes. When Q had mentioned that because conversation had come up at Heaven's Reach last week, I had asked her, I was like, well, what is the more appropriate, I guess, title to use? when introducing under that title. And Q made the remark of, well, it could be whatever you want it to be. You could utilize the titles of the Champions of Eld, or if there was something that you embodied that you believe fits you better. And so I did a lot of thinking. And I believe I have settled on the 3 that I believe embody me. The champion of the Sarvati, of the Twilight Dragons, of storms, as I myself am a storm dragon elf, and of protection, because I do protect and care for others.
Fair enough.
Sorry about that.
If you'll give me a moment, I'm going to go check on things.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think, if anything, I'd be the champion of being a hot fucking mess all the time. But I don't think that's really in keeping with the job, so we're maybe not going to go with that one.
Could always do something like I did, something to keep to what once was, and to something that is now. Traditional and new.
Fair. I don't know. Might let my counterpart make that sort of call.
Fair enough.
As things go.
Hmm. How have things been for the rest of you since last we met?
Okay. The only thing I've been doing was working on a talisman.
Anything interesting, or just because?
Yeah, just a little gift, basically.
Ah, okay. What about yourselves?
Usual and crazy, I guess. Not really sure. Oop, bit of lag there. Apologies. Flux got me. But yeah, nothing really to go into any detail about. Just the usual, I guess.
So an establishing question, okay, when were we last all together? In your counting?
Believe for our last mission, where we went to the in-between, was 2 weeks ago, if memory serves me correctly.
2 weeks, okay.
Should be correct, but you know me, I have little to no grasp on the concept of time.
This is where we get into trouble, yes. So like,
I gave up trying to grasp time a long time ago.
Yeah, so okay. I don't know. I feel like this bears explaining. So, the amount of time that has passed since we were on the mission for me is 6.
6?
6 what?
Yes. Exactly. This is okay. So here's the thing, right? Everyone seems like
Well, you
like
in the
a
never.
day. Well, I've been, I mean, like yeah, like a good bit of it, but like that's not the point. So okay. Here's the thing, right? I don't know if this is like just a Faye thing, or maybe immortal wiring, or maybe it's part of me that's broken. I have no idea. I don't really care about your timings. If I'm in a realm for long enough, I can track things at roughly the same rate as you guys, because you use months and I use lunations, and that's close enough. But like,
Something like that.
but
Hello,
like, so
Darius.
Hello.
Yo.
hello.
Good to see you.
I track things on.
It's been a
Good
bit.
to see you as well.
Likewise. Besides you, I haven't seen you in a very long time.
Correct.
First time seeing you.
Yes.
How have things been?
Has been a while. Yes. We almost died 2 weeks ago. That was less great. I've been building a house. That's also not great.
Looks like I wasn't alone in that. By the way,
Yes,
Q, reason for disappearance, I think you've already seen in the other... Okay.
I
The-
was also
the
forwarded
words
a
of Saturn
message
reached
by
you too.
your, thing. Yes.
Very good. Well, that saves me an explanation. There you go.
Yeah. I do hope that you've made a full recovery, at least.
Nothing's gonna keep me out of a job, even a medical bed, but my girlfriend was very persistent. Kept me, It's it was the 2 weeks of recovery, but something beyond that is what kept me away from work after the fact of the awakening. More of an internal struggle, let's put it that way.
You don't have to worry about elaborating if you don't feel that you have the time for it. I know that a lot of those things are sort of nuanced, can go on for ages.
Mm.
I do believe I sense
Beauties
fairy
of
arriving.
the beauties of involuntary astral projection. Involuntary. Air quote.
That doesn't seem great.
No. Especially when you walk into a space where no one's like reacting to you trying to talk to them and you see your own body and everything. It's like a third, like an out of body experience, quite literally.
Oh, that
Everything
is
is
weird.
so much louder. And everything's cold.
No, that
Yeah.
part I understand.
Yeah.
It's like spirit walking.
I may explain it, but I'm not going to derail your conversation you had. Sorry.
We were just talking about the perceptions of time and how it doesn't really matter to certain individuals.
Yeah.
Time matters to me a lot. Time is precious. And I do not have that much time to be allowed to walk on this plane. I'm a very old woman, but I keep my complexion to be younger than that.
Wow.
So.
You definitely carry
Fair
yourself
enough.
pretty well for someone who is of age.
89 and still kicking, alright? Job is gonna follow me into the grave.
I almost want to say that
I
she
could
is the
only hope
youngest.
that I look as well if I ever got that way.
The horns are gonna deceive everyone. I know, but I'm human. I'm straight human. All the way, baby.
Isn't that from, I believe, you said a version of Void, I believe?
Mutations.
Hmm.
Yeah, I get how you feel. I mean, I'm literally fully human, but I'm made of rubber. Just grabs her cheek and stretches it and lets go. Devil fruit.
Oh. Heard they're
I feel
been
like at a
going
certain
around
point
recently.
you just stop
Fuck.
being human, though. Don't you?
Nope, my physiology, biology, everything is still human. Runs
To
off
be
the same
fair,
stuff.
what you are is completely up to you. If you want to call yourself human and yet you're not biologically it just... Well, what does it matter?
I mean, my siblings and I did that for ourselves. That's why we call ourselves dragon elves.
For the most part, most people would probably just simply think you're elves with very fancy body paint.
Until they see this, and then that changes things.
Yeah, until you literally rip off your skin in a form.
I think the
Oh.
only thing different about me lately that's not human is my heart rhythm's been really weird lately. Not sure what's up with that.
Probably the rubber.
Maybe. Sounds more like drums though.
Huh.
War. Sorry. Cree War
No, you're
jumped
fine.
into my brain for a moment.
You're fine.
When you said that word, I also felt a ripple too. That's like a buzzword here, ain't it?
Everything is a war, even if there's only like 12 people involved.
Oh, those are feuds.
I mean,
Hmm.
sorry, I don't know if this is a little too real, but for me, every day is a war. Just living.
Oh,
That's fair.
That's fair.
Yeah. Actually, believe I sense Cora about. I
Oh.
know that she's been curious about
static
getting
electricity. Yep,
in-
that's her.
I thought I felt a
involved
charge
in
in the
such.
wind.
And copper. Did she bleed? Is she bleeding?
Is she?
Charge? Nah, I can't feel it. One of the perks of being
When
a-
you are tuned to lightning, you kind of feel things a little easier.
Well, I'm completely immune to it, so I don't feel it at all.
Mm-hmm.
It smells like burnt
Oh,
metal.
goodness gracious, sakes
Heated
alive.
metal, more specific.
Fun. I'll keep that in mind.
Yes. By the way, Q, a bit of an update for you. By the way, let's just say my journey is complete, and I've collected them.
Ah.
Hmm.
Wonderful.
Very nice set of blades.
2 months. 2 months of me and my friends going on adventures and collecting the parts and putting them together.
Does it
So,
hold the
it's a hell of
same
a story.
curse, or are they free of curse?
Sometimes you just need to learn to live with it. And I'm stronger than that.
Fair.
I'm shown to
Although
be
I get
stronger
the
than
chains
temptation.
thing.
Hmm.
I get
Don't have the
chains thing,
curse.
though.
If they didn't have the curse, they wouldn't be so special.
That
But the
doesn't
curses
seem
makes
like
them
that's how
special.
It.
Curse is a byproduct of the power put into the weapons.
Not if you're making your items
There is
properly.
balance to all things.
That's not even remotely true, and you know it.
Speaking from the goddess of balance herself.
Yeah, and look how.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
all things are in balance. We're all just here for tea and nothing more, which is an entirely untrue statement.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Still,
There
I
is
ain't
a
getting rid of the
reason why in a
curses.
world
I'll learn to outlive them.
perception of balance for our people is a scale. Scales are never stationary, they're constantly moving up and down.
Hmm.
Fair.
Right. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was our next sort of mission escapade. I brought this up before all of the other issues came up, but I wanted to reiterate for some who may or may not have been around for it. There is a location that is within the Twilight Realm known as the Forge of Stars. It is a place that us Twillin would utilize to seed life in certain locations if necessary. It's come to my attention that our adversaries have captured this location within the Twilight Realm. and I'm believing that they've captured a lot more. So,
Hmm.
it is something that I'm going to wish to take back first. Utilizing it, I can better establish footholds throughout the Twilight Realm and better combat these invaders. Hello there, Cora.
Feel free to join us.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Sorry, the trip inside was a little bit of a doozy.
It's fine.
Are you okay?
I'm living.
Better than being dead.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Sorry, my brain immediately started waxing philosophical on that, and I needed to stop myself. However, the location itself is there are about five rooms. Each one houses a different key element to the forging of energies. Most likely the place is going to be in disrepair, and hopefully, conveniently, not every location will be cut off from you. If you guys do happen upon any impediments there, I will try my best to lend aid from a distance. As for adversaries there, I'm not quite sure yet. I'm going to actually send scouts ahead of time in order to better inform you all of everything going on. You'll have to forgive me. Messages in my mind. Things are interesting. I've been doing some self-reflection and ghosts of the... Well, not ghosts. That'd be improper. The spirits of the past are speaking. Which is good. I've missed them. Oh, right. Actually, this next point, Ares, you might find this to be, something that you quite appreciate. I've begun putting in work to establishing my own isle. An isle in which, we could possibly utilize for what Calypso desires without having to taint Heaven's Reach.
Super.
In the long run, however, this location will act as a, the same function Heaven's Reach has, but for my side of things. And it will allow me to handle things that are that I don't wish to bring upon the Reach directly, but do need a location like the Reach. So,
A localization of interest, I suppose.
to
Would be nice.
let you all know, actually, I have been traversing the realm in between to a location. It is one of the stories that I very much treasure. I believe I've shown some of you the locations that come from that story. But the world itself is best known as Atheris. I've been keeping an eye on the fate lines of that particular realm. And something has occurred in one of the branches of the timelines within that reality. It has started to deviate, and it is headed straight for a collision course with the Shattered Realms.
How is that possible?
I'm not quite sure right yet, but I have my theories. I believe that my dear friend that is over there, Sire's father, he had made mention when I came to visit most recently of a theory he had. While I was quick to assist his comrade in dissuading his feelings, I can't help but feel that he was on to something. I have the ability to gaze upon people's souls. I don't look deeply, though, obviously. That's improper. But it is the same way as looking at a person's flesh to me. There was an individual whose soul was there, who had previously been vanquished to my knowledge, but it also wasn't her soul, which is why in the world even I was struggling to understand if what I was seeing was true. But I do know for a fact that I've been watching this for a while, and the vibrations were there. I was noticing several strands that were coming off of the fate line, diverting its way towards this realm. But as we get closer and closer to the coming days, that pathway has become more and more solidified in my mind. Because of that, I do believe that the pathway home for Ryder will be soon, and with him will follow something we all need to be concerned about. What, I don't know just yet. But to that end,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
you're fine. To conclude on that portion, I believe that there will be a location that will make itself apparent, and it will effectively cause a bridge between the Shattered Realms and their reality. Because I don't wish that reality to become too overwhelmed or overrun by interlopers, is how I will phrase it. I believe once the rift to that reality appears, I'll actually be capturing it and solidifying it as a gateway upon the isle that I had previously spoke about. Luckily, this won't connect to the sacred timeline, as I am to call it. It is specifically a deviation from the timeline due to the fact that, apparently, through whatever situation happened, Ryder ended up being shunted to this world and took up the same mantle as the protagonist that exists there in that story. So it is a completely unique situation when it comes down to it. But given that Ryder is Saya's father and she has agreed to become one of my champions, I felt it appropriate to try and prepare a welcome mat for any one of his allies should they wish to cross over. I'm sure that I don't know the details, unfortunately. I can only look at the myriad of strings that flow about. But one thing's for certain, the knot that's within that myriad of strings that comes all together is that there will be a great conflict. A great conflict that will shake the very foundations of realities. So. But I wanted to give you all first forewarning that I will be taking on that endeavor. I've been watching over the timeline for about goodness, it's been 2 or 3 moons now? Maybe more? Time is wibbly wobbly. But, that all being said, it is not something that I wish to make seem too doom and gloom when it comes down to it. This individual, once they are within this side of reality, will find a lot that they are familiar with is not true. Or not necessarily true, but doesn't work the same way. The Shattered Realms, or Metaverse as some people call it, is a very unique place. There is no hierarchy of laws that are in place. Places across the reality shift and flow, and what some people view as how gravity should be, others think that it should be, floating around. But I digress and am rambling. Is there any particular questions? I know that Farron, you started to speak.
Just... I'm familiar with the story, and I'm just concerned if this is pointing to, certain things that, really don't want to deal with. Particular, singers. Trying to be vague here, apologies.
Oh, that story has resolved, and in a much more positive one than the true story.
Okay. Alright, well, good. I'm good. Fine now.
In that story, he used the power of friendship. Which, honestly, I actually quite find to be... If you've ever met Curry, it very much is something that he would do. He either will fight it, or make it his friend.
Curry.
Or maybe he'll fight it
That
and make it his friend.
Oh my god. I haven't seen and heard that bastard in years.
I've never
Oh,
met this person at all.
First
I've heard of
one I've
him.
ever met. And the first thing he did was, well, okay, so there's 2 things. One, the first time I met him, he was flirting with someone, and then he got slapped so hard I thought the shockwave of it just blasted someone in the next room over. The second time, he walked up to me and started flirting with me, and then his friend came up, smacked him upside the head, and then he focused up. He's actually not that bad of a guy, but he's kind of everywhere.
Hmm.
He is
Again, he's not that
a
bad of a
lady
guy.
friend, and that's putting
Yes.
it lightly. But he's a good guy. And I've known him since I came to this reality, actually. It was actually a conflict between him and his brother that allowed me to find this location. All those many years ago now. 6 odd years now. Goodness gracious, I don't like thinking about time. Anyway.
Yes.
But yes, we won't have to worry about any birds,
Good.
I think.
You can't do this to me. You can't leave me with that. I think.
I realized that birds was a really generalized thing, and so I that's why I added the I think. So you won't have to worry about bluebirds.
Got it. Okay. Good.
Hmm.
At least not depressed ones, anyway.
Quite. Right. That is still one of my favorite stories. No matter how tragic it is, it also... The biggest part of it is that it's very relatable to me. And plights of my own people. But I do not need to be getting melancholy. I know that some individuals here have been wanting to hear some of the stories of my own past. So I figured that I would indulge them. I can't quite remember where I was starting when I had started talking with you and Saya.
That was a while ago.
It was indeed, but it honestly doesn't really matter.
I remember
at the end of
you
the day.
saying it was one that you had never spoken of before. It was the one that you told Corvus.
Oh.
You had just gotten started with it, and then we got pulled away for something.
That's right. Goodness gracious. Dawns on me that my mind's more muddied than ever. Actually, I do believe that I will be taking a moment to gather my thoughts on that subject, if you don't mind, and come back to it. But, in my absence, well, the one thing that this... Ooh. Other. Sometimes, my mind space sneezes apparently, and it shoots people out of it.
What happens?
But what I was going to say is, this mind space allows me the ability to call upon some of the spirits that linger around me. Namely, the Council of Seven, some of which are the Champions of Eld. And so, while I go gather my thoughts, I believe I will have one of them manifest themselves and talk with you all. I think the first one will be, well, to same who is the first in my book here. The Twilight Soul. Suicide. She was High Priestess of Twilight, and was the only other person beyond myself who had the permission and ability to commune with the Twilight Mother in her tomb. That being said, I'm going to take a walk, gather my thoughts, and have that story ready for you. Will excuse me.
May I walk with you?
Sure.
Sorry for the absence when answering the crystal. It's
I will say, I'm a little surprised to see you here, Carl.
I kind of needed a way to get away from home for a bit, you could say, after all what's happened.
Fair enough.
But how are you doing, Miss Sariel?
Well as I can be.
That's good at least.
A mix of exploring the world and others. And taking care of the refuge.
Man, I love having to reconstitute my own local reality. Always fun.
Welcome back.
It happens.
Appreciate it. Oh. What did I, miss? Anything important?
Cute taking a walk to gather their thoughts before they tell the story.
God.
We will be visited by a manifestation as well.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Someone of the
who?
Council of Seven.
The Twilight Soul.
Oh. Okay. That makes more sense.
Although it looks like I won't be sticking around for too much longer. I have to go deal with a problem.
Don't we all at some point?
Yeah, it'd just be nice to be able to actually stay put in one spot for a little while without having to run off and fix something. I'm gonna wait a bit and see if they can sort it themselves out.
Fair enough. Calling out says shut up. I'm gonna just chalk that one up to, I don't pay enough attention to the smaller details in life. Wow.
Most do not.
I mean, when you've traveled as much as I have, seen as much as I have, you tend to, gloss over it.
I suppose that is reasonable.
Oh my god. Play outside. No, wait. Get fuck. No. Fuck off. Well, anyways, what do we got for sweets here? What are we working with?
A rather nice assortment, to be honest.
Snare cake. What the fuck that is? Just gonna make her. No. It's always cool when I see it.
Anyways.
Oh, hey.
Hey, boy.
Hey, boy.
Oh well.
How are you?
Exhausted. Again.
I don't blame you.
I keep
What are you
screwing up
not
something, don't
exhausted?
worry.
I kind of feel the same way.
Anything new? So on? Missed anything?
You mentioned about a diverging timeline from a reality that is one of her most favorite stories. And apparently that divergent timeline is on an crash course with the Shattered Realms. That sounds
Which one?
references a world called Atheris.
It bore some
She still
connection
does,
to one Mr. Ryder and Miss Saya, I believe.
You still got me lost.
I'm as lost as you are.
Are you familiar with the term Warrior of Light?
No? At least not the version I'm most likely connected to this.
Never heard of it.
Fair enough.
Warrior Light means some angelic entity to me, but most likely that's wrong, correct?
Yeah. But Q mentioned that once it gets here, she's going to... Wait, she's going to set up the... I guess it almost sounds like a toll, so that not too many people interfere on that side from our side.
Hmm.
Mm.
So
She also made mention of like creating an island of sorts, similar to that of Champion's Isle.
Yeah, I heard of that one when they first mentioned it.
Hmm.
I was joking around about that.
Is there a reason for this this aisle that Q's making, if I may ask?
Place of her own, from what it seemed like.
yeah, something related to what was her name? Started with a C, I think.
If you're gonna show up
Calypso?
here,
Calypso, yeah.
Something about using
you're gonna
names
most likely
like
be
Heaven's
tied
Reach.
into what me and Passio has to deal with once we go to Exodicias every so often.
I don't mind it, to be honest. After what's
Let's
happened
just
with
say-
my family, I kind of need a break in a way.
Mm,
It's not
that's
because of
fine.
them, it's just my own mental fortitude.
Mm.
And I'm guessing that's the manifestation.
Oh.
Manifestation.
Q
I've
said
heard
that she was
intelligence
calling
for
upon the
something.
echo of the Twilight Soul.
Mm.
Unless you know them and they're not.
Good evening.
Det är verkligen en amor. It is good to see you all.
Oh, never mind.
Pleasure to meet you.
My name is Sisai. And I was Twilight Soul, the advisor to Q.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Technically, I still am. Likewise, champion of the Sorvati.
Indeed.
And the champion of chaos behind you. For pleasure.
A pleasure.
We have been resting within Q's crystal for some time, so our minds are still fuzzy. So forgive me if I drift off in conversation. But I know Q wanted me to meet with all of you. She has interest in calling upon all of us at one point to speak with you all. Just so you are familiar with us. I am what is known as an Illumin. We are the keepers of forbidden knowledge. It is those among the Illumin who choose to sever their souls from the Nexus, barring their chance for resurrection, in order to keep secrets from our people. There is knowledge out there that people cannot know without it bringing great danger to themselves. But to dispose of that knowledge would be to dispose of useful material. That is why the Illumin have the Faith Weavers. That is also why in the world I rose to become the voice of the Twilight Mother. And the Twilight Soul.
Hey, Worthless. Hey, Sammy. Welcome to Story Time with Kimmy. Meeting with one of the champions of Eld, the Twilight Soul.
Do not let me control the conversation. I know that I am here not just to tell you about myself, but to give you all an opportunity to speak with me, should you so desire.
Were there many of you?
The Illumin were less in number than most of the other races. Due to our seclusive nature, we did not spread our numbers. There is a forest in which we inhabited. In the Turan language, we would call it Soto'e. Soto'e is roughly translated in common tongue as the forest of shadow knowledge. In a more elaborate way, what it symbolizes was the lands in which the knowledge is sheltered by the boughs of the trees and hidden from sight. Within the forests, many of our kind would weave webs. Unlike myself, there are a number of individuals who embrace their true sides, and they become very spider-like in essence. Another Lumen, and the champion of them, who you will meet eventually, Ilin Fe. She is one such individual. Our penchant for hiding knowledge was why in the world I was selected for being one who could commune with the Twilight Mother after her fall. I am one of the few that remained, that stood beside Q in those days. To touch upon the Twilight Mother means to touch upon madness. While in her defeat she was cleansed, traces of the madness still lingered. Those who possessed the shard or attempted to commune with her risked losing themselves to that madness. There was a exiled Twilin known as Yeeks. They were a fervent supporter of the Twilight Mother's crusade, even with the atrocities it was creating towards the end. Whether or not it was of his own volition or the madness had taken him, we would not know. But the one thing is for certain is that the machinations of those who supported the Mad Mother were not something that I can forgive them for. Supporting the twisting of our souls to a point that they cannot return to the great flow. To never find peace, only silence.
But you are condemned to such a fate, no?
Currently, yes. Which is why Q is making the efforts in her power to restore what she can. The mantle in which she carries is not one she was meant to bear, but one she has to. And that's why she puts her faith in others so much. She carries them on her shoulder. Within the Twillin, even without the Nexus, we do have those who are stubborn, whose lives, despite not entering into the Nexus, will resurface once more. Most of us that served alongside of Q are the same. Is there any other questions that people might have in the moment?
When the seven were first convened, did you get along with each other?
Some of us did. Myself, Esper, Ilin Faye, Kriwar. We were all actually good friends with Q. Some of us did not see eye to eye with the other three. Which was normal. It was natural for, well, our kind to have such disposition. Twilight angels and twilight demons often go back and forth with one another. For the most part, it's like a sibling rivalry. But some individuals take it a little too far. Unfortunately, much like Q, and I'm guessing it is most likely because we are bound to her right now. The names of the three, beyond our own, we cannot remember. They're just like they are only silhouettes in our mind. What they stood for, what they did, we can remember. What position they played within the grand scheme. But anything about themselves, we can't. The personality, their history. Q would not admit this, but I am not Q.
Any idea as to
There's
why
a
you
good
cannot remember
chance
the
that
three?
What I was about to say. There is a good chance at some point during the conflict they were unwritten.
Excuse. You guys have a lovely night.
You as well.
Be well, acolyte.
I may have to go too. I need to go check up on my sister, see if she's okay.
Take care of yourself.
Anything you want. I try to.
Good evening.
This, however, could not be the case. It could be simply that they fell in battle, and due to how much damage the Nexus has taken over the past eras, their memories simply have been lost. Could be eventually Q will remember them, and thus they will be restored, at least in memory. But until we figure out go ahead.
This is desirable.
To be fair, yes. She's been hiding it very well. But Q has been troubled by the fact that she cannot remember 3 of the people who fought alongside of her, and quite possibly gave their lives for her. She's been hiding it, choking it down, dealing with it alone.
It was their choice to fight. Were you unaware of the list?
Indeed. We were not unaware, but Q alone. It's not about that, it is about memory. For us Twilin, stories are paramount. Remembering that people once lived. It's very important to us. And so, the fact that she cannot remember the stories troubles her greatly. We have done our best to soothe her mind, but we are her friends too. And so her mind is easily swayed by the thoughts that we are only giving her words that she wishes to hear. Things were not like this in the past. Twilin used to know instantaneously what the other meant. Large conversations between Twilin would happen near instantaneously. But after Q's fall, doubt and our individualism became more dominant. Our hive mind weakened. Our ability to know what was in the hearts of others gone. And so doubts have started to reseed themselves within the minds. Well, currently in the mind of Gil. She's in a constant tug of war. Which is probably why she wanted me to speak with you all. Because she knew I would tell you all the things that she doesn't have the strength to say. I want to say personally, I thank you all for being her friend. I know that friends may carry many meanings, but to us, those who assist another are friends, regardless of how long they know each other. And there may come days where friends become enemies, but that is but a fate that happens. In our eyes, especially the eyes of the Illumin, nothing happens without reason. Not in the traditional sense that others might say that fate is some cosmic entity that decides what happens. No. No, we believe that everything that happens, happens. And if we were to try to change it, that the same thing would still happen. Because it happened. We cannot blame ourselves for not being around. Because if we were to be around, then we would have been there. Fate is that which has already happened. Fate is the past. Which is why in a world we can change our fate. By knowing what steps to take into the future. Which is something that Kyo has gravely forgotten. Her foolish journey that she took very recently. Which, oh, if Esper was more physical, she would have done very violent things to Kyo after she resurfaced. Esper was Kyo's best friend. And she also was not one to mince words lightly. She was an individual who felt beating an individual to within an inch of their life was a good way to teach a lesson.
Guess it depends on the circumstance.
Largely it was because she knew how much Q cared. And again, it's also because back in the day, we knew the hearts and minds of those who were around us. So, what many people would see as a rash action, for us, it was much simpler. We already understood the nuances, we understood what was going on. Which is why in the world many of us have such strong bonds with one another.
How does one preserve such a bond when that form of closeness is lost?
This is what Q's been asking themselves for quite some time.
Depends on how the bond's lost.
What if only that it should be?
Then you just keep the memories.
See, you are the hammer. But that was the nail. Quite. That is what she held on to, is the memories. Which is again going back to the previous point, why she's so troubled.
Memories
Hello,
will
Rin.
fade, they'll
Welcome
fade,
in.
Change, warp.
It's not something that us Twilin are familiar with.
No, but you spend enough time in a place where it's possible and things can tend to happen.
A lot of who we are, or what we are, was lost. Q has done their best to try and stitch it all back together. But
Will she accept that it cannot be done? If it appears that that is true.
that yet remains to be seen, to be honest.
Yeah, I think she's possible of changing and growing and adapting.
It is possible, yes. It is not far from the truth that she will most likely be able to accept that these things cannot be fixed, and she will move on. But that is also why you have the enemy that you do. The shard of her that carries all of her doubts, all of her malice, all of her stubbornness, and desire to not take no for an answer. Q the Endless is everything that Q does not wish to be.
The fear of what happens if she loses herself made it manifest.
Indeed. Should she not be able to accept the fate of the Twilin and what has happened? Defeating the Endless won't bring solace. She will just simply become another one. And then you must bring this story to a close, should that ever happen. But there is still hope. That is one thing that Q has held on to. It's one reason why individuals such as Lady Riza are very important in Q's life. Individuals who have seen cosmos, who have seen the fabric of reality, and understand that no matter how powerful you are, how grand you become, you are still insignificant in the grand scheme. People who can relate to what she's been through. But my time conversing with you all most likely short.
I have but one last question for you. For us, for the champions that stand before you, what advice would you give us as we take this path?
Hold strong to what you believe in. Never waver from that pathway. But also understand that change happens. And should your values shift, adapt. And acknowledge that that is now a part of you. Going into the final battle with the Twilight Mother, we all had to hold on to the values that we had selected. To the very choices we had made to represent ourselves. My own, as the Solar Twilight. I had championed the power of air. The concept of guidance. The virtue of faith. The sin of sloth. The wisdom of the sages. And the power of emotions. It was my duty to guide, to hold fast to my faith, to be an advisor, and to know when to rest, but to never let go of what I believed in my heart. Love and hope are the most powerful tools. So I guess my most poignant advice that I could give the champions and any who are assisting you. Make sure that she never loses sight of the light of hope. If she ever becomes hopeless, there is a story that she treasures quite a bit. 'Cause she sees herself in it. She is like a bird on the wind. But I digress. I am glad to have had this opportunity to speak with you all. Then once you all have dealt with the endless, and Q is able to re-establish the Nexus in its proper form, we will be happy to have many conversations with you all.
I look forward to that.
Until then, we shall rest and sleep. Be well, allies of Q.
Be well.
Be well, Soul of Twilight.
Rest easy. if it ever comes down to it, we just give Q our hope. If she has none of her own.
Indeed.
I am afraid that I must take my leave. It has been good to chat with all of you.
It's been good to see you again as well.
Yeah. Goodness gracious.
Safe travels.
Take care of yourself.
Take care.
You as well.
I get the barrel of those.
I must take my leave, Lady
You
Q.
asked.
Good night.
Of course. Good night.
Oh, somebody want me
Finding
higher up.
yourself a place to perch once more.
I wouldn't say purge, it's just more relaxed right now.
Fair enough. I will have to tell that story later, it seems. My mind is all too fuzzy today.
It's quite
Oh,
alright.
Yeah, yeah,
Just look at me. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
We're equals.
Yes, indeed. That is a very firm belief that I hold on to. What do you...
Yes. Yes. Meaning you can talk to us. When you're feeling up to it.
You're doing that thing.
Besides.
Yeah,
But I
it's
understand what you're getting at.
it's okay. Here, I can get back at them for you. Man, you sound a lot like Dad.
I wonder why.
Trust me, I understand that my journey most likely echoes across the ages. And I mean, there are many people who can relate to my own story.
It's fine.
My story is no different than anyone else's, no matter what title or stance that people might put me on, as much as I try to tell them not to.
It's fine. You go off the deep end, I'll put my foot in your ass, everything will be fine.
That's what equals do.
What friends do. Oh, right. The rubber one
Starting
apologizes. One of her crewmates was accidentally setting fire to one of the subships.
What?
She runs a pirate fleet, so she has a lot of people under her command. She had to run back because someone didn't understand the concept of how gunpowder and magnifying glasses worked.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Okay. I see.
But yes, yeah, that story is not coming back to me right now, unfortunately.
It's quite alright.
That's okay.
There's plenty of time to tell it later.
Indeed, indeed. I think it's because my mind has been too focused on other issues that have started to develop. So my penchant for stories has sort of been put on the back burner, I guess you could say. My mind is too engrossed in the now, given the fact that we have the weird hourglass on our doorstep.
I'll
I
blow
heard
it up.
about that.
I don't want to deal with it. I don't know. I'm just gonna blow it up.
That's my opinion, is that I'm not dealing with it. And if Dragonspire ends up becoming embroiled in it, then I'm just going to pick the door up and I'm going to put it somewhere else.
Fair enough.
Understandable.
I do know.
Because I don't care about what deal Riza had with Lord Siegfried. Heaven's Reach is got its own issues and problems, and I'm not about to let someone drag us into it.
Oh, the
I do
whole
know that my
hourglass
Robert
thing.
counterpart has been chatting quite a bit with one of those dealing with it, giving as much information as possible.
Yes, I saw that communications begin from Cinnabelle, which is something that I'm glad, because echoes of a story. I just know that within the spheres of influence that are projected by locations that, for lack of a better term, perceive themselves as being a part of the Shattered Realms versus the Metaverse, it doesn't seem to be a problem. So long as you stay on that side of the spheres of influence, you won't have to worry about it.
I'm not worried about it.
Not something I'll be doing today, but maybe next week I might have something I want to share with people.
That would be absolutely lovely. You have to forgive me, I'm doing a little bit of stretching right now.
You're doing the cat thing, it's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At this point, I've embraced my cat side. While it might still be a curse upon my existence, it's practically a part of me now.
Hey, if you've got it, flaunt it.
I just wish I had my ears back.
Which ones?
My beautiful elfin ears.
Oh. You can't have mine, sorry.
I don't plan on taking yours, darling. That would be too Beethoven.
Okay.
Was it Mozart? No, it was Beethoven.
What? That was
I
deaf?
think. There was one of the classical composers who was either deaf or hard of hearing who actively cut off his ear and sent it to one of his lovers.
You're confusing a composer with a painter. Van Gogh's the one who cut his ear off to send it to a lover.
Yes.
And Beethoven was deaf.
Okay. I've heard of crazy things, but that is actually probably up there.
In the intention, I guess you could say it was kind of romantic, but
no, Van Gogh is a proven old age stalker, so.
Huh.
I mean, I know.
Like I said, the intention was romantic, but it was a little not proper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Again, it makes me think of the One Realm. Their way, much like a lot of different realms do, the ring on the ring finger. For them, they cut the ring finger off and give it to the other.
Fair.
Did they sew the other person's finger onto it?
No, that was actually a different realm.
What?
I have been banished to the Shadow Realm. I see.
I do know actually an entire dimension of sentient robots and whatnot that actually trade their cores. Basically like trading their hearts with their loved one. Which was kind of sweet.
Makes me think of the maiden serpents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Q?
Well, there they go. Yeah,
Oh.
Shadow Realm.
She wasn't joking.
Yeah, no, there's, I forget what it's called, a world where...
Well, I guess also no Ascension tonight.
women,
They just called it
for the
off.
most part, are robots.
Seems a lot
So
of
it's called a maiden circuit,
people sick and strong weather going on.
and they give the passcode to their circuit to their lovers. Very interesting.
Oh, looks like the Shadow Realm didn't hold them for long.
In my homeworld, it's an exchange of circlets. Depending, though. Sometimes it's rings, sometimes it's circlets. Depends on where in society you are.
I'm not even gonna get into how things worked with me and my specific partner. Let's just say it was interesting.
Time ceased to flow for me for a moment there, and then
It's fine, it happens.
I saw the realm in between.
Hey, let's not go back to the in-between, not anytime soon, please.
No, I didn't mind it so
Good
much.
news, everyone.
All right, well,
Really?
I'm going home. I'm no. I'm opening my gateway. I'm leaving.
I will say this. For further study, I will be recreating that area as a mindscape. Not necessarily to train within, as in fighting things, but definitely a place for people to look around and understand it. Because the realm in between is kind of effectively what the pathway will be sort of taking.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt,
Jumping
fighting
from
our way
broken
through
reality
there
to
too,
broken reality.
and fighting our way through it all.
Yeah.
I don't want to do the thing again. It hurts really bad when I do the thing. Can we make it? I don't want to do the thing. It's really painful. It's like hella painful.
Actually,
Maybe
I
don't.
have an idea. I'll get back to you on it, but I have an idea.
Fair enough.
Anyways, sorry. Was I saying anything important? I don't know if I was saying anything of substance before I ended up getting yeeted off.
No, we're talking
Not
about
really,
like
we're all
Talking
just
about
artistry and
couple
stuff, and
nerds,
then you're like, oh, the
customs and
Shadow Realm
stuff.
is taking me, and then you
Oh.
screamed, and then you left.
More like singing, but fair.
Okay, well.
Okay, I just want to point out, none of you were moving for me, okay?
Look, cute. What you did was you arched back, and then all of a sudden you were just like the Shadow Realm is taking me. You hummed some kind of tune or something like that, and then you were gone.
Yep.
well, we have to. You made the little tune. They asked you, and then you just.
Oh yeah. Then you poofed. Yeah. Then you vanished. Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Look, if you really wanted to just visit my home again, Q, I could have just opened the portal for you.
This realm never wants to cooperate with me sometimes.
Understandable.
I feel that.
To my whole reality. So.
But, anyway,
No idea.
since I'm not going to be having story time, you all are free to just continue to chill and vibe or head on your merry way. I, on the other hand, while she might be asleep, I for some reason feel the glare of my best friend.
Hmm?
Oh.
Huh.
I think what you guys said ended up making her be awake and stare at me, going, yeah. Better be glad I don't have hands. These hands, they were made for you.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Esper is not the... She's a wonderful friend. Someone I care about greatly. She also just...
Is a hammer.
There's
And
a
I'm not
reason
talking
that
about,
she
like, just, like,
was the Twilight Blade.
fucking, like...
That would explain it.
Fair.
Which often made individuals be a little bit confused whenever my personal bodyguard would beat the shit out of me. So
I feel like me and this person are gonna have a whole lot to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I look forward to meeting the rest of them, to be honest.
So,
well, I would endeavor to do my best to bring them forth. Unfortunately, they can't manifest themselves while I'm around because of the current state of things.
Mm-hmm.
I have to effectively go into a meditative state so that way they could sort of, I guess, pilot the body, I guess. I think that's what ends up happening. I've not really paid attention to what's going on.
Well, in that case, it would be probably more... safe to say that they're using you as a mouthpiece.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. The benefits of being a Twillin is we are shapeshifters, so...
That works.
So... Whenever they are possessing me, they are able
You're not
to
wrong.
present themselves as who they look
She just like finds an excuse. It's like, no, I'm good.
Fair. One of these days I'll get my actual body to come through, but for now I'll keep borrowing this visage.
Of course. Yeah. One day. I believe in you. Speaking of which, I actually need to There is a surge of energy from Sire's acceptance of the seal that I need to actually sort out. Every time a new champion enters the fold, it grants me a little bit more of my power back.
Fair enough.
How goes the search for the last?
I'm actually going to go speak with my child. She ducked her head down for a little bit. She followed after Lowell, but she also felt sort of ashamed for doing it because of... Well, I've done a lot for her, and she was like, she was just mainly following along with Lowell because Lowell felt that it was necessary. And it was, and it sort of...
Well, then I hope it works out.
Yeah, I honestly do too. To have no Mikoto on our side would be incredible. Because of the title that she was granted, she actually has the power to defeat me. She is the harbinger of war. So, there are tales in various beliefs in religion of the four horsemen, the riders of the apocalypse. Within the Twilin, we actually have 4 individuals who do that. They exist purely to help reset reality.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
Basically, they are the ones who lead the charge into realms that are about to be utilized by the Endless for their own. And to prevent the Endless from ever accessing it, they restart the timeline using what is at least referred to in our terms, it roughly translates to reality bomb. Effectively, it causes the entire reality to experience a big crunch and then a big bang.
That's about right.
That sounds a little terrifying.
It starts the cycle anew, and so stories can flourish once more, and that every soul in that world doesn't end up getting lost to the void.
Man, that's a nice emotion.
Uh-huh.
A little too close to home, did I get it?
It's fine.
Not at all.
You're fine.
I have interesting friends.
You really do. But you have good friends, Q.
I do. I know that Silsai probably said some things that I didn't tell you all, so...
Just maybe I'll do it.
Don't know what you're talking about.
It's fine.
She's not wrong. There are some things that I am personally not acknowledging on principle. Mainly because of the fact that, as I've mentioned before, symbolism is very poignant within Twilin existence. If we focus too much on something, well, our beliefs become manifest.
Mm-hmm.
Swine World, what Mother did, reminded me so much of that story. Innermost despair and desire, making abominations manifest. Our magic's out of control.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible, honestly. I actually told that story before that story was even written. So make it quite a surprise when I saw how close that story ended up paralleling my own. Which made it all the more something that I held tightly to. And all the more reason why in the world I want to ensure that at least this strand of Viserys makes it back to being normal.
Understand.
Well, we can only hope.
Indeed, indeed.
Until such time, is there anything that you need from us, Q?
Resource gathering.
Such as?
Some of the essentials, so to speak. And this isn't necessarily anything that you guys need to actually bother yourself with. But, stone, wood, things like that will be required because I am actively building this location, this island, so. While I can utilize my magics to bring it into existence, the less I have to use my own magics, the better. So, I'm also...
I think I might be able to help you with that, at least in part.
Wonderful.
I got a few things I can toss your way in that case.
Any particular
Effectively,
kinds, or are you wanting just generic?
Generic as it were. I mean, if there is anything that you wish to gift that is of special design, I'm sure I can figure out a place for it. But basically, the whole idea for this part is that feel free to put in the effort and whatever resources like you gather, just simply hold the crystal, focus on sending the resources to me, and they should go through a twilight portal and appear on the isle.
I think I could do that.
Right now, the only thing that I have created is effectively the promenade, the plaza, the entrance.
Fair enough.
I think I should be able to find resources for you rather easily. If not from my home,
Beyond that,
but from my home world as well.
I feel like I sheep my P's
Beyond
and Q's
that,
to myself on this one.
Sorry, my mind seemed to slip away from me there.
Yeah, you're fine.
Beyond that, there's not much else that I can actually prepare you all for. Not until I have more information on what to actually expect in the Forge of Stars. Depending,
Understood.
it might not even be a conflict. Maybe something else.
Well, let us know when you're ready for that then.
Oh, I certainly will. Plans within plans within plans.
Indeed. But as I said, I can at least get you resources rather easily. From 2 places. So, I'll see what I can do for you.
Wonderful.
I mean, if you want to make it easy,
I'll be sure
have an old
to
island I'm not using
inform
in a portable hole.
individuals out there
Do you have an island in a what?
Yeah, leftover remnant from an exploded world.
Q. I have
Okay.
a bit of bounce. Is it the same
Just
as
smoke
just
off
closing
of
the
it.
eyes and then dipping? Same as always?
Same as same as
I
it
guess
always is.
make the offer to her then.
Changed anything?
Same as it ever was.
I mean, it
Okay.
makes sense to
Oh,
double
yeah, take
check.
care.
See you around, Katsuo.
I mean, it is good to check, but usually I'm at least proper enough to inform people ahead of time of, hey, by the way, I've changed something.
True.
So, anyways, you want their portable black hole with an island, or the spatial ring with a small continent in it?
Goodness gracious.
Okay.
You'd be surprised how many things I have
I asked for
collected.
resources. I didn't ask for land masses.
I mean,
You
But
asked for stone, wood, and so forth. The island's got trees, it's got rocks, it's got dirt, voids.
I guess that's fair. Okay, in that case, if you are providing those things, then I need someone to help me cut the trees down. Doing all of that work by myself is not the most easiest thing. I also need to find a location to put the exit portal.
Fair.
are you still planning to have a... Were you planning to have a version of it within the Reach itself, or is it just separate from the Reach? Welcome back,
There
Koi.
might be an echo within the Reach itself. But I'm not going to promise anything on that one because that also requires Reese's assistance.
Fair enough. Hopefully she does come back soon.
I'm sure she's making her way.
Well,
Boy. Have you been listening in?
A little bit.
They were asking me of what you all can do, and I don't know about how well you can resource gather, but you might have the manpower to find some
Resource
people to
gathering
gather
stuff.
stone and wood for me.
Resource gathering was the only useful thing I had going for me.
Oh, wunderbar. In that case, I will be,
seems like it all works out for you.
basically pile it all up, hold on to the crystal, and it will appear on the island. The other stuff, we'll
What
handle
do you
that
need?
at a later date. Stone, wood, pretty much the basics for building, medieval-esque housing and such. The less I have to convert to a twilight magic, the better.
Granite or marble?
Fair enough.
And just grabbing whichever and making do with it.
Granite or marble? Q.
Marble. So I can settle for granite.
Fair enough. Then I need to make a trip over to Lunai, and I need to go to Hildrim. That's easy enough. Now the trick is how to get a hold of that without people asking questions. That's the fun part.
I'm sure you are resourceful.
Quite. Trust me, I have my ways. So,
You've lived this long.
Hildrim is a continent I'm not necessarily chased after.
Fair enough.
Tyrnadrim, yes. That one's the harder one.
Don't concern yourself too much if it becomes an issue.
No,
It's just
it won't.
a task that I figured that I'd give you all since you guys simply asked if there's anything you guys can do to help.
No, this is actually something easily to take care of for me. So. Until next time, Q. Or at least tomorrow, perhaps. I'll see about
Until
stopping
then.
by the Reach. Take care, both of you.
Safe travels.
Right then.
That was rough today.
Yeah.
Reality's like that.
Hildrim.
So, boy.
Make the rat do it. Yeah.
How are things for you,
Seems like that's what she's asking Poi. So that's that. I don't know what other RP's going on right now. If any. Because we have no Ascension tonight. So what do? What do? Curiosum's going, I can see that. Hmm. Hey Sammy, are you still here? Sammy. Damn it. Oh. Just okay. Hey. No, I was also tapped out. I was looking at my Discord, sorry. Fuck, I want to do something, but I don't know what I want to do. Look, it's only 7:30. I don't know if Ari's around. I'm just watching up here, so I'm seeing how long they go for. But if Ari is around, I was wanting to see if maybe we wanted to do like a small scene. Oh, is she all out? Okay. Fuck. She. Whoop. I could swap. What is she doing? Oh, that's what she's doing. I could swap the games. I was gonna say, yeah, poke her and see if she's awake. If she's awake, we could maybe do something. If she feels up to it. If not, I might swap and like maybe see if Din's around and wants to play games or something. She's out like a light. Okay. I'm dreaming of Kitsune. Oh my god. What's a ping? Oh, ribbon. Alright, let me poke Din and see if he's around. I could also pull you, oh my fucking god, Sammy. I could also pull you and pull Ariana and see if I can pull Ariana into a VC and we can discuss things too. Since she's gonna be free for the night. Because no ascension happening. Also, this map is like really nice. All right. Okay, we are going to go and switch to some games for a bit. I'm gonna go play some League. So I will go and get out of VR, and I will be back in 5-10 minutes. Also, I want to see check something. I don't think he finished up fixing it yet, but I just want to mess with something real quick. fixed it yet, but yeah, that's fine. This will be better for tomorrow, so that'll be nice. Anyways, yeah. So I'm gonna get out of VR, and we'll go play some League for a bit. You want to see the other one? I'll show you the other one. This is her other gun. This one's getting this one's getting adjusted too, but yeah. Yeah, fun stuff. She doesn't have this one yet. Soon, TM. Anyways, hi, Han. How are you, dear? So yeah. Badass. I mean, to be fair, she always was. I mean, ooh, did you solidify which one, hun? If you did, DM it to me. I wanna see. Not one but two guns. She doesn't even have the second one yet, Sammy. No? Oh, okay. You're gonna surprise me with it? Okay. Okay, hun. So yeah, let me go and get out of VR. I'll be back in a few minutes. Let's put on some fun music. You know what? Because I like this music a lot. We're gonna listen to The Extreme. I'll be right back.